about uncertainty during the time. Did you have any songs that you guys had put together and then maybe they become something else, which was the final project, maybe just naturally due to the times, just uncertainty about writing songs, and they became, rather than just you hit it the first time?
Oh yeah.
For sure, yeah. I think the whole album took on like a whole new context because we had actually written it prior to the pandemic, and it was more about like quarter life crisis, growing up, finding our footing in life, and then the pandemic happened, and the whole recording process just got like completely blown up, and we had to do it fragmented and in a different way than we had intended. So all the songs after that kind of became just more about that, and the whole process was kind of interesting to be processing the pandemic and all the changes while singing about the same thing, and it just recontextualized the songs in a cool way.
Okay. Oh, go ahead.
I'll put it this way: we were meant to do 3 weeks to finish the album at the beginning, and we recorded probably what we thought was 60-70% of the album. We ended up probably using 20% of that stretch. So we have like full different versions of songs on the albums that multiple times we tried, but I think the whole thing was better for it. I think we needed more time. So doing it the long way around was kind of our process for this one.
That's kind of interesting you bring that up. I'm a big John Mayer fan, and I don't know if I should mention this, but someone from Sony who shouldn't be talking had mentioned stuff about his album process, and he scrapped an album that was 70% done and then came out with Sob Rock. Wow. And that's what kind of interests me in asking the question about the uncertainty, because he was writing one thing, he's like, I'm gonna do pop, and then it became Sob Rock. Yeah. And I was kind of interested as well. In one of his interviews, he mentioned he looks at each album, a certain concept, and he writes around it, kind of like a movie. Is that something similar you guys do with albums, or is it more of a, here's the songs, and as they kind of come out, you kind of figure out, oh, this is what is naturally happening?
It's less of a preconceived thing than that, but it's definitely every album we try to approach it totally differently. This last one, we had to approach it differently just because of the nature of how it was made, but the worst thing is just being complacent and just, we're making another record. Like every time we want to push ourselves and see if we can do it differently, see how great it can be. I think once you get a little too comfortable, and John Mayer, no disrespect, probably got a little too comfortable at a couple albums, but we can talk about that off camera. But
we love John
you can
Mayer.
talk about it on camera too. I don't, no pressure.
I'm number one John Mayer fan, but I think you have to push yourself and do a different. John Mayer does change every album. Back to Mayer, but you know what I mean.
Okay. I will also say we go into an album knowing that it's going to be an album, writing as many songs as we can, and without intention of a certain theme. This one kind of came together, and the theme revealed itself after we chose the songs, which was interesting. It felt like it was meant to be about kind of one core topic, but we didn't go into the process being like, we're only writing songs about this. It just happened to be the ones that we were the most drawn to and felt the closest to. So it's interesting how that happens. It kind of reveals itself through the writing process.
I guess my next question, this has been a topic all over TikTok I've seen. Have y'all seen the Halsey video?
Yes.
Okay, I want to...
Which one?
It has to be a viral video before she can release a song, and she was upset because she's put out a lot of material, but her thing was like, I've done all this for you, but I can't release what I want to. I want to ask, there's been a lot of discussion on that from both sides, especially independent artists are like, well, you should have to do it too. Then on her side, it's like, no. What is y'all's opinion when it comes to, it seems like you're a musician, but you also have to be like a content creator now to, I guess, please all sides. Like, how's that relationship for y'all with social media?
It can be frustrating for sure, because it does feel like there is the school of thought that this isn't what we signed up for, but at the same time, this is just what the music industry is now, and it's always changing, and you do have to adapt to it. It sucks that TikTok viral videos are the pinnacle of like what seems to be successful music right now, but I also think with social media, with Spotify, it's also an opportunity to take something into your own hands as the artist and curate the content that you're releasing. and get your message out there and have direct communication with people. So as annoying as it is to pull yourself together to try and do a TikTok and have that take over your mind, I've recently just been trying to look at it as like, okay, this is a way that we can harness this connection and try and get our message out there in the way that we want it to come through.
We have the most reach ever of any artist in history through TikTok and streaming and everything, so we could cry about it or just use the opportunity to talk to our fans directly.
Yeah.
But I think her position sucks because that's a different thing. It's like, if your label is withholding music, that's not right. So.
Yeah, and that seemed to be like the biggest argument that I always try to see both sides and find what is fair. I kind of looked at it from an independent artist trying to make it, and they have to. Like, you don't have a choice. Like, or just be content, which then you'll never be an artist. So I kind of looked at it that way from that. I guess leading into the next question, what would you say is the hardest part about being a musician that maybe people don't realize? Because usually when people chase the dream, they see there's certain ideas, but behind the scenes, maybe there's certain things people don't talk about.
I think on tour, there's a lot of just sitting in a car and a lot of physically uncomfortable moments where we're just, trying to find places to eat and shower and stuff like that. And it's ultimately rewarding at the end. But we once calculated on tour how much of time is actually spent playing music, and it was 2 or 4% or something like that. So I think it's just just dealing with that kind of stuff, and it took a long time before we were able to do it in a comfortable way and have hotel rooms and stuff like that. So I think it's just that kind of long grind, but it's if you love it, it's so worth it, and that makes all the milestones kind of even more special.
How was it? We were talking earlier before about Corey Harper. How was that having him on tour, and I know y'all have a song together. How did that relationship start?
The song that we have together is kind of the way that we all met Corey. So that was through our manager, and then we became friends when we were recording that song together. And then musically, it just felt like a great fit for him to join us on tour. And he hopped in the van, came on the whole tour with us, got really close with everybody, and it was so much fun. It was great.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his music. I met him, I think 3 years ago in Nashville. Him and Noah Khan met both of them playing at a bar. So
awesome.
They were really nice, and I've been a big fan ever since.
Yeah.
I guess my last question for y'all, and I've noticed this on TikTok as well. There's all these social media marketers for musicians. Everybody's always talking about, you got to do this to make it, got to do that. You guys have made it to Bonnaroo, have so many streams, doing so well. If you were talking to an artist who does have good music, they do push themselves on socials, is there any kind of edge that they can find to get? Because a lot of times on social media, you just kind of get generic answers. Is there any edge other than that?
We have no edge.
Yeah, we're looking. If you find out, let us know. I would say the longer we do this, the more comfortable and confident we are in ourselves and our band and ourselves as people. And I think that's what connects on socials, as a band, on stage, when you meet a fan. If you pursue being your authentic self, however weird or whatever yourself is, that's what we try to do every day, and that's what we've noticed in our show, in our presence online, and everything is the most effective is we pursue being as honest with each other and honest as people, and just I think people respond to that. That's how you connect with any person. When you're talking to somebody, you're just a human to human connection, and if you extend that all the way, that's what any great artist has to do.
All right, that's it. I appreciate y'all taking time to speak with me, and I enjoyed the show, and thanks for the interview.
Thank you.